To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigolearn and click the bell icon and download our app OneFin to start learning on the go.
Yes, my dear friends, it's time to talk about another very interesting and beautiful topic what we have in our syllabus. That is a beautiful topic known as place of supply. And this is one such topic which is very interesting and very beautiful topic for two reasons. Reason number one being very clear that it's a very practical topic, and at the same time examination point of view also it has got some very good weightage. Always keep in mind topics like value of supply, place of supply, input tax credit, registration. These are those kind of topics where they are very much important practically also as well as examination point of view. Now let me give a wonderful example so that we can take this topic forward. Listen. So let's say there are two persons known as Mr. Ajay and Mr. Vijay. Ajay is in Delhi and Mr. Vijay is in Maharashtra. Now when I say that Ajay is in Delhi, Vijay is in Maharashtra, let's say both of them are dealers in electronic goods. Ajay and Vijay both are dealers in electronic goods. One day Vijay contacted Ajay and ordered 10 televisions to be supplied to Vijay. Then after that Ajay supplied 10 televisions to Mr. Vijay. Now question is all about, should Ajay charge CGST and SGST or should Ajay charge IGST? That's the question what I'm asking you. Without any second thought, students directly jump into conclusion stating that, sir, let's charge IGST because Ajay is in Delhi, Vijay is in Maharashtra, both are in two different states, so definitely IGST will come. But let me tell you, my dear friends, that is not the correct answer. In fact, the concept is very clear. We charge CGST, SGST in case of intra-state supply and we charge IGST in case of interstate supply. Now in which case we regard a transaction as intrastate supply and in which case we regard a transaction as interstate supply. For this purpose, my dear friends, let me discuss with you the concept of IGST Act. In fact, in this particular topic of place of supply, we are completely going to discuss lot of relevant sections in IGST Act. We are not going to talk about CGST Act, we are going to talk about IGST Act, Integrated Goods and Services Tax Act. Listen. In that, my dear friends, there is one section known as section 7 which deals with the concept of interstate supply, where they have clearly specified that if the location of supplier and place of supply, if the location of supplier and place of supply are in two different state or UT, then it is regarded as interstate supply. And whereas, my dear friends, section 8 specifies that if the location of supplier and place of supply both are in same state, then it is regarded as intrastate supply. So one point you have to clearly understand is that we should not decide whether it is intra or inter based on location of supplier and recipient. There are two important parameters to decide whether it is intrastate supply or interstate supply. And the two important parameters are, number one, location of supplier. Number two, place of supply. That is why I always say that place of supply is an integral element to determine type of supply. Clear? Now listen. Very clearly listen, my dear friends. I'll give a good example. Kindly please concentrate. Let's say, for example, there is one person known as Mr. Shivateja, who is a registered person in Telangana. Right? Now, Shivateja went to Bangalore for some official work in Bangalore. And in Bangalore, I stayed in a hotel. That means basically I am talking about stay in a hotel. Now, at the time of checkout, that is when I am coming out of the hotel, obviously I am required to pay the hotel bill. Now question is, will hotel charge CGST, SGST or hotel will charge IGST? Your brain will tell, sir, hotel is in Karnataka, you are in Telangana, so they will charge IGST. But let me tell you, the answer is not IGST, the answer is CGST and SGST. But why? Listen. We have got one section known as section 12 subsection 3 of IGST Act which specifies that in relation to immovable property related service or service related to hotel accommodation, place of supply is the place where immovable property is located. So in this example, when Shivateja went to Bangalore, stayed in a hotel in Bangalore for supply of service given by that hotel, place of supply will be Bengaluru itself, because that is a place where immovable property is located. So if you observe carefully, location of supplier is in Karnataka, place of supply also is in Karnataka. Now when location of supply is in Karnataka, place of supply also is in Karnataka, what hotel will charge is CGST and SGST. They will not charge IGST, they will charge CGST and SGST. So please understand that the important element to determine whether intra or inter is all two parameters. Number one, location of supplier. Number two, place of supply. If the location of supplier and place of supply both are in same state, we treat it as intra-state supply. Whereas if the location of supplier and place of supply are in different state or UT, we treat it as interstate supply. Please remember, we look at two important parameters: location of supplier, place of supply. So in Shivateja's example, when I stayed in a hotel in Bengaluru, supplier is in Bengaluru, place of supply also is Bengaluru. So what they will charge is CGST and SGST. Now in this context, let me ask you an interesting question. Where is the hotel registered? Hotel is registered in Karnataka. Where is Shivateja registered? Shivateja is registered in Telangana. Hotel is registered in Karnataka. And hotel has charged what? CGST and SGST. Now big question what I'll ask you is, can Shivateja claim input tax credit of that CGST and SGST? Come on friends, what do you think is your answer? Come on. Most of us, your brain will strike telling answer is yes. Why can't we take? Shivateja went to Bengaluru for official purpose. He stayed in a hotel there. So he incurred some expenditure in the course of business or profession. Why can't he take credit? But let me tell you, my dear friends, straight away the answer is no. Because a registered person can claim credit of IGST and he can also claim credit of CGST, SGST paid in same state. But Shivateja, registered person in Telangana, cannot take credit of CGST, SGST paid in different state. If Shivateja would have paid CGST, SGST in Telangana, Shivateja can take credit. And if Shivateja would have paid IGST, then also Shivateja can take credit. But here, in my example, Shivateja paid CGST, SGST in Karnataka. So in this particular case, Shivateja cannot claim input tax credit. Very, very interesting line. Now listen, please concentrate. Can Shivateja request the hotel, sir, please charge IGST, don't charge CGST and SGST? Will hotel listen? Answer is no. Obviously, because hotel, whether to charge CGST or SGST or to charge IGST, it depends upon two parameters, as I told you, location of supplier and place of supply. And my dear friends, it is the utmost responsibility of the supplier to determine place of supply. That means in our example, it is the utmost responsibility of the hotel to determine what is place of supply. In our example, location of supplier is in Karnataka, place of supply is Karnataka, hotel will charge CGST and SGST. And Shivateja cannot take credit of that CGST and SGST. That is why, my dear friends, how I'll put this concept in front of you is something like this. Listen, carefully listen. Place of supply is an integral element to determine type of supply. Now, next point. Type of supply is an integral element to determine type of tax. And last line. Type of tax is an integral element to determine availability of input tax credit. What a beautiful language, sir. Come on, let me repeat the line. Place of supply is an integral element to determine type of supply. Next line. Type of supply is integral element to determine type of tax. Type of tax is integral element to determine availability of input tax credit. Why I told you all these points is only to make you understand that place of supply is very, very interesting and very important topic. Now listen. So friends, as I was telling you very clearly, if the location of supplier and place of supply both are in same state or UT, we treat it as intrastate supply. But if location of supplier and place of supply are in different state or UT, we treat it as interstate supply. But let me tell you, my dear friends, there are 2-3 transactions where it is deemed to be interstate supply. What are those? Number 1, exports is very clearly regarded as interstate supplies. Number 2, supply of goods or services to SEZ What is SEZ? SEZ is nothing but Special Economic Zone. Special Economic Zone is one such area which is within India, and that area is notified by the government as a Special Economic Zone. Even though that is within India, for all tax purposes, it is treated as if it is outside India. Now listen, let's say there is one person, Mr. X, who is in Pune, Maharashtra. There is one person, Mr. Y, who is also in Pune, Maharashtra, but Y is located in SEZ, X is located outside SEZ, but both are in Pune, Maharashtra. Now X supplied goods or services to Mr. Y. Strictly speaking, everything in Pune only, but supply is made to a unit in SEZ. So definitely it is regarded as interstate supply. So friends, there are some transactions where it is deemed to be an interstate supply. Number 1, exports. Number 2, supply to SEZ unit, or it could be SEZ developer. And third point, very popular point. Listen, what is that? Supply of goods to a tourist on goods taken out of India. Come on, what did I just say? Supply of goods to a tourist on goods taken outside India. What does that mean? Listen, sir, let's say there is one person known as Mr. Anand. Anand has got one toy shop in India. What has Anand got? Anand has got one toy shop in India. Now, there is one person known as Mr. Jack, who is of US, who came to India for a tour in India. US person, Mr. Jack, he came for vacation to India. Now, in the course of moving around in India, Jack visited the shop of Anand, and Jack purchased one toy from Anand's shop. In that case, my dear friends, Anand should charge Mr. Jack IGST. He should not charge CGST and SGST, because whenever supply is made to a tourist, it is deemed to be an interstate supply. Now, question is, sir, who is a tourist? Tourist means a person who is not normally resident in India. Come on, I repeat one more time. Tourist means a person who is not normally resident in India but comes to India for a stay of not more than 6 months for a legitimate non-immigrant purpose. Non-immigrant purpose means he has not come for the purpose of shifting. Come on friends, I'll repeat the definition once again. Who is a tourist? Tourist means a person who is normally not resident in India but comes to India for a stay of not more than 6 months for a legitimate non-immigrant purpose. He has not come for the purpose of shifting. He has come only for a kind of vacation. Like example, our Jack. Now, when Jack has visited the shop of Anand, when Anand is supplying goods to international tourists, Anand should not charge CGST, SGST. Anand should charge IGST because it is deemed to be interstate supply. Now, one big doubt which can come in our brain is, sir, how will Anand know that Jack is a international tourist? By seeing the face, we can't recognize whether a person is a international tourist or not. That's practically not possible. Then how does it work? Let me tell you friends, when Jack of US is coming to India, when the flight is about to land in India, what airport authorities are doing is, they are making an announcement in the flight itself, and they are giving one document when they get on the flight where it is specified that in case you buy any goods within India, please tell the shopkeeper that you are an international tourist, so that shopkeeper will charge IGST. And when you take these goods out of India, at the airport, we have got one counter known as GST refund counter. You please come to that counter, show us the good, show the invoice, whatever GST we paid, we will give you refund. And you can take that good out of India. Wow, such a beautiful concept. That means, in our example, whatever GST Jack has paid, whatever IGST Jack has paid, Jack can show that toy at the airport GST refund counter, and he can take refund of GST and then go back to US. What a brilliant point. Now another doubt can come in brain. Sir, why is government doing like this? Clear cut logic for this. Why government is doing like this? Because if you observe very clearly, it is something like an export of goods. Obviously, no. Sir, if Anand is in India, from India, he is sending good to US. What do you call it? Export. Now in our example, what has happened? Some person known as Jack of US came to India, went to Anand's shop, purchased their good. That good is taking outside India. So directly or indirectly, the good is being exported. Exactly, you have to understand this point clearly. So let me reiterate one point here. Supply of goods to a tourist, that is only regarded as a interstate supply. But this concept will not apply for supply of services to a tourist. I am very clearly telling this point. If Jack goes to a hotel in India, stays in a hotel in India, hotel will not charge IGST. Hotel will charge CGST, SGST only. Because what is regarded as interstate supply is only supply of goods to a international tourist, not supply of service. Very, very interesting point. Come on friends. Section 7 of IGST Act deals with the concept of what is interstate supply. Section 8 deals with the concept of what is intrastate supply. And I clearly told you that if the location of supplier and the place of supply both are in two different states or UT, it is regarded as intrastate supply. Whereas if the location of supplier and place of supply both are in same state or UT, we treat it as intrastate supply. But in 2-3 cases, it is deemed to be intrastate supply. What is number 1? Exports. Number 2, supply to SEZ unit or SEZ developer. Number 3, supply of goods to an international tourist. International tourist is somebody who is not normally resident in India but comes to India for a stay of not more than 6 months for legitimate non-immigrant purpose. So this is what is the story of Section 7 and Section 8, where you have to understand what is intrastate supply, what is interstate supply. Then my dear friends, we have got another beautiful section known as Section 9 in IGST Act, which talks about what will happen if the location of supplier or place of supply is in territorial waters of India. We know territorial waters of India, no sir? We already learned the definition of India as per Section 256. We already discussed the definition of India as per Section 256, where we discussed that India covers territory, territorial waters, continental shelf or exclusive economic zone, soil underwater and airspace above territory and territorial waters. So territorial waters is covered in definition of India. And what is territorial waters? From baseline up to 12 nautical miles, we treat it as territorial waters of India. And Section 9 has clearly clarified that if the location of supplier or the place of supply is in territorial waters of India, then the location of supplier or the place of supply is deemed to be in the coastal state or UT, where the nearest point of appropriate baseline is located. That means what? We will see from that territorial waters point what is the nearest coastal state, and that state will become the location of supplier or the place of supply. One more time I repeat, Section 9 has specified that if the location of supplier or the place of supply is in territorial waters, then it shall be deemed to be in the coastal state or UT, where the nearest point of appropriate baseline is located. That is the story of Section 7, Section 8 and Section 9 of IGST Act. Section 7 talks about what is interstate supply. Section 8 talks about what is intrastate supply. Section 9 talks about what will happen if the location of supplier or the place of supply is in territorial waters. Then we will consider the coastal state or UT, where the nearest point of appropriate baseline is located. This concept of place of supply is dealt by Section 10, 11, 12, 13 of IGST Act. And let me tell you my dear friends, Section 10 deals with place of supply in case of goods. Section 11 deals with place of supply in case of goods imported or exported. I repeat, Section 10 deals with place of supply in case of goods. 11 deals with place of supply in case of goods imported or exported. Then Section 12 deals with place of supply in case of services when location of supplier and location of recipient both are in India. Section 13 deals with place of supply in case of services when location of supplier or location of recipient one of them is outside India. For example, Shivateja is a chartered accountant, registered person in Telangana. Let's say I am providing some services or I am supplying some services to PQR Limited, which is a registered person in Maharashtra. Supplier is in India, recipient also in India. Place of supply is determined applying section 12. But if PQR Limited is in foreign country, then we say that supplier is in India, recipient is outside India. In that case, we'll apply section 13. Section 12 will apply in case where supplier recipient both are in India. 13 will apply when supplier or recipient one of them is outside India. And please understand, in section 12 we have got 14 subsections, and in section 13 we have got 13 subsections. Long way to go. Services will take a lot of time, but of course, my dear friends, goods will not take much time for us. Services will take a lot of time, because in services we have got different kinds of services: immovable property service, chartered accountancy service, fitness service, transportation of goods, transportation of passengers, telecom service, insurance, banking, what not. Service sector is very big, and moreover, service sector is intangible in nature. Goods, there is some physical movement, but services are intangible in nature. So whenever it is intangible, definitely the discussion what we'll do will be very high. So friends, to summarize, what are the 4 sections we are going to learn? In place of supply, section 10, 11, 12, 13. 10 deals with place of supply in case of goods. 11 deals with place of supply in case of goods imported or exported. 12 deals with place of supply in case of services when location of supplier and location of recipient both are in India. 13 deals with place of supply in case of services when location of supplier or location of recipient one of them is outside India. So my dear friends, now let's start discussion about section 10, place of supply in case of goods. So friends, now let's look at section 10 of IGST Act, and as we discussed already, section 10 deals with place of supply in case of goods. Now listen, section 10 is divided into 10.1 and 10.2, and 10.1 is further divided into 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d and 10.1e. There are 5 clauses in section 10 subsection 1. Other side, section 10 subsection 2 specifies that if the place of supply cannot be determined, as per provisions of section 10.1, then it will be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. That's all. So they just put a point in the law in section 10 subsection 2, where they just told that if place of supply cannot be determined by applying provisions of section 10 subsection 1, then the place of supply will be determined in such manner as may be prescribed. That's it. So if you are not able to determine place of supply by applying 10.1, then don't worry, they will tell you, they will prescribe in what manner you have to determine place of supply. And a practical point, generally it is prescribed by way of rules, and so far nothing has been prescribed. So our focus is only on 10 subsection 1, in which we have got 5 clauses: 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d, 10.1e. Let's talk every point in detail and become perfect. Listen, sir. So let's say, for example, there are 2 persons known as Mr. Ajay and Mr. Vijay, and Mr. Ajay is a wholesaler in electronic goods and Mr. Vijay is a retailer in electronic goods. And let's say, for example, Mr. Ajay is a registered person in Delhi and Mr. Vijay is a registered person in Karnataka. One day, Vijay contacted Ajay and ordered electronic goods, and Ajay then supplied that goods to Mr. Vijay. Correct, my dear friends? Now, in this particular scenario, how do we determine place of supply? For this particular scenario, my dear friends, we have got one section known as section 10 subsection 1 clause A, which specifies that place of supply in case where there is movement of goods. If you observe here, electronic goods are being moved from Delhi to Karnataka. The goods are going from Delhi to Karnataka, correct or not? Now there are 3 possibilities how that movement can happen. That is, Number 1, Ajay himself is sending that goods to Vijay. Second possibility, Vijay is coming to the place of Ajay and then taking that goods. Third possibility, Ajay is sending that goods to Vijay through a transporter. Correct, my dear friends? So there is a possibility that movement of goods can be done by the supplier or by the recipient or by a third person. Third person is nothing but a transporter. Here, in this particular case, you have to understand that as per section 10(1)(a), place of supply in case where there is movement of goods shall be the place where movement of goods terminates. Terminates means stops. Movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. If you observe very clearly here, Ajay of Delhi supplied goods to Vijay of Karnataka. In this particular case, my dear friends, place of supply will become Karnataka because movement of goods has terminated for delivery to the recipient in Karnataka. So transaction between Ajay and Vijay, that movement of goods or title on that goods is transferred from Ajay to Vijay in Karnataka only. So when the goods reach Karnataka, transaction has come to an end. So in this particular case, place of supply will become Karnataka. And where is the location of supplier? Location of supplier is in Delhi. So what Ajay will charge? Ajay will definitely charge GST. Now let's say, for example, other situation. Vijay of Karnataka, he only went to Delhi and he purchased goods in Delhi and took delivery in Delhi itself, and the contract between Ajay and Vijay terminated in Delhi itself. When I say that contract between Ajay and Vijay terminated in Delhi itself, that means that movement of goods terminated in Delhi itself. In that case, my dear friends, place of supply will become Delhi, and what Ajay will charge is CGST and SGST. A very practical small example, guys. Sir Shivateja, a registered person in Telangana. Let's say I went to Mumbai, Maharashtra for some work there. Now in Mumbai, I went to one cloth store to buy one shirt. I went to one store, Van Heusen, and in that store, I purchased one shirt. Now that Van Heusen store will charge me CGST and SGST because movement of goods terminated in Mumbai itself. The contract between the shopkeeper and Shivateja terminated in Mumbai itself. I agree to the fact that even though Shivateja is bringing that shirt along with him to Telangana, still movement of goods between the shopkeeper and Shivateja terminated in Mumbai itself. So you need to understand that even though Shivateja is bringing that shirt to Telangana, the transaction between the shopkeeper and Shivateja has come to an end in Maharashtra itself. So place of supply will become Maharashtra itself and shopkeeper will charge CGST and SGST. Now let's say, for example, another situation. Shivateja went to that shop, that store in Mumbai, and I ordered 100 shirts and told them, boss, supply these 100 shirts to Telangana. Contract between you and me will come to an end when the shirts will reach Telangana. So in this particular case, movement of goods will terminate for delivery to the recipient in Telangana. And where is the location of supplier? Location of supplier is in Maharashtra. So that shopkeeper will charge GST. That's why I told you that type of tax to be charged will depend upon type of supply, and that will depend upon place of supply and of course location of supplier. So friends, what is the answer now? As per section 10(1)(a), place of supply in case where there is movement of goods shall be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. For what, my dear friends? Delivery to the recipient. Next point. Before I discuss 10(1)(b), let me complete 10(1)(c), because 10(1)(c) deals with the concept of place of supply in case of goods where there is no movement of goods. Movement of goods is not there. Possible. That also can happen where there is no movement of goods. Example, my dear friends, that is a case of furniture. What is that furniture? Fixed furniture we are talking about. Let's say there is one person known as Mr. X, who is a chartered accountant, who is a registered person in Gujarat. X, a chartered accountant, registered person in Gujarat. And this person, Mr. X, he wanted to set up or establish one office in Delhi. For that purpose, he went to Delhi and he purchased some office space which has also got pre-installed furniture. That means he purchased office space along with furniture in Delhi. Now, whenever he is buying office space, on that he will not pay GST, because we know that sale of land and building will not attract GST, because as per section 7(2)(a) read with schedule 3, it is neither regarded as supply of goods nor regarded as supply of service. So on that office space, he will not pay GST. But you have to observe that in that Delhi office space, along with that office space, there is also fixed furniture. Correct, my dear friends? Now, is X taking that furniture, removing that furniture from Delhi and taking it to Gujarat? Answer is no. X is just setting up an office in Delhi. For that purpose, he will use that furniture. So technically, if you observe, there is no movement of goods. In that case, my dear friends, provisions of section 10 subsection 1 clause C will apply. 10(1)(c) will come into picture to determine place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. Wherein, my dear friends, section 10(1)(c) has specified that in case where there is no movement of goods, place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. I repeat one more time. Place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. That means what? In our example, X purchased office space along with furniture, and that is where? In Delhi. In my example, my dear friends, place of supply for that furniture will become Delhi, because 10(1)(c) is applicable to a case where there is no movement of goods, and in case where there is no movement of goods, place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. And where is the location of goods? That is nothing but Delhi. So answer will become Delhi. So friends, we are done with two provisions now, 10(1)(a), 10(1)(c). 10(1)(b) we will talk, but we are done with 10(1)(a) and 10(1)(b). 10(1)(a) applies for what? 10(1)(a) talks about place of supply in case where there is movement of goods, and in case where there is movement of goods, place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. And 10(1)(c) will apply to determine place of supply where there is no movement of goods, where 10(1)(c) specifies that place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. What a brilliant language they used. So that is the story of 10(1)(a) and 10(1)(c). My dear students, now let's look at the next very important section, and in fact this section came in exam so many times. That is about section 10(1)(b). What is that? Please listen very clearly and carefully. Come on, let's take an example where there are three parties involved. There is one person known as Mr. A, Mr. B and Mr. C. All three are dealers in, let's say, biscuits. All three are dealers in what, my dear friends? Biscuits. Mr. A is a registered person in Delhi. Mr. B is a registered person in Maharashtra. Mr. C is a registered person in Goa. So A is registered where? Delhi. B is registered in Maharashtra. C is registered in Goa. Now what has happened is that C knows A, but C doesn't know who is B. Now what has happened is, one fine day, Mr. C has contacted A and placed order for 1,000 biscuit packs with A. But what has happened was, A did not have enough stock with him to supply the biscuits to C. But A knows that there is one person known as Mr. B who is also a supplier of biscuits. Then A contacted B and placed an order for 1,000 biscuit packs with an instruction stating that Mr. B, don't supply that biscuits to Delhi, kindly supply that biscuits to Mr. C of Goa. Why they have done this? This is basically to avoid transportation cost. Now there is no logic and sense that goods will be sent from Maharashtra to Delhi, again from Delhi to Goa. That's ridiculous. So what has happened is, A placed order with B and instructed B stating that, my dear B, directly send that biscuits to Mr. C of Goa, don't send that to Delhi. But my question to you, sir, think properly and tell me, who has actually supplied the biscuits? Actual supply of biscuits was done by Mr. B. Now, will Mr. B raise invoice on C or will Mr. B raise invoice on A? Common sense point. B will obviously raise invoice on A only because B doesn't know who is C. But B has sent the biscuits to C only on the instructions of Mr. A. Correct or not? Exactly. Now this kind of model or this kind of supply is known as build to ship to model. What is it, my dear friends? This is known as build to ship to model, because if you look at from B's point of view, B is in Maharashtra. If you look at from B's point of view, he will raise a bill on Mr. A, but goods are shipped to or sent to Mr. C. So bill to one person, ship to other person. So this is called as bill to ship to model. And in this particular transaction, how do we determine place of supply? For this purpose, we will apply section 10(1)(b), which specifies that in case where goods are supplied by a supplier to a recipient on the instructions of a third person. In our example, goods are supplied by B to C on the instructions of Mr. A. So if the goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of the third person, then place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. That means when Mr. B of Maharashtra is supplying goods to Mr. C of Goa on the instructions of Mr. A of Delhi, place of supply for this particular transaction will be Delhi. It will not be Goa. Our brain will automatically tell Goa, Goa, Goa because the goods are going to Goa. But the answer is not Goa, answer is Delhi. Because Mr. B has supplied goods to C on the instructions of Mr. A. And section 10(1)(b) specifies that in case where goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person, in that case, my dear friends, place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. When I say third person, that means the person who has given the instructions. In our example, B has supplied goods to C on the instructions of Mr. A. And A is in Delhi, B is in Maharashtra, C is in Goa. Even though goods are going to Goa, still the place of supply will become Delhi. This is because of section 10(1)(b). Now, other side of the story, listen very clearly. Mr. A got invoice from Mr. B, correct or not? Yes. Now, one other extension to this concept, that is, Mr. C actually placed order with whom? C actually placed order with A and told A to deliver, but A told B, deliver it to C. But C cannot ask invoice from B, quite obvious, because C doesn't know who is B. C placed order with Mr. A. Now, C will ask invoice from Mr. A. Now, when Mr. A is raising invoice on Mr. C, in that case, my dear friends, for transaction between Mr. A to Mr. C, we will apply section 10(1)(a and place of supply will become Goa. Why I applied 10(1)(a? Because this is a case where there is movement of goods. And why I applied 10(1)(a but not 10(1)(b? Because nobody instructed Mr. A to supply goods to C. C only asked A to supply and A supplied. But for supply between B to C, Mr. A instructed B to supply goods to C. Whenever one person gave instruction to another person to supply goods to some other person, for that particular transaction, we will apply 10(1)(b). So in this particular example, what I gave between A, B and C, there are two sections which will come into picture. From the point of view of Mr. B, section 10(1)(b) will come because Mr. A instructed B to supply goods to C. For that, 10(1)(b) will apply from the point of view of Mr. B. But for invoice between A and C, section 10(1)(a) will apply. And as per 10(1)(a), place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. And in our example, movement of goods terminated in Gujarat, movement of goods terminated in Goa. So place of supply will become Goa. So in example what I gave, there are two transactions involved. So 10(1)(b) technically talks about build to ship to model. In case where goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of a third person. Generally, practically this happens by way of transfer of document of title to the goods. Document of title basically means a lorry receipt or airway bill or railway receipt. They'll endorse it on some other person's name. Getting clarity, guys? Listen, Another interesting example I'll give you. Just apply common sense here. Listen. Sir, let's say there is one person who belongs to Karnataka. Okay? His parents are in Karnataka. Let's say he's a CA student. Now that CA student of Karnataka, assume for a second, he has got a lot of friends in Delhi. So he decided to take CA coaching in Delhi only. So he went to Delhi to stay in Delhi and finish off his CA coaching, become a chartered accountant and do a job in Delhi itself. And this particular person got a job in Delhi, a chartered accountant working in Delhi. But his parents are in, where sir? Karnataka. Now, he has got his first salary in Delhi. He thought he will give a wonderful gift to his mother and father. He booked 2 cell phones on Amazon. What he has done? He booked 2 cell phones on Amazon and with the instruction that these cell phones to be delivered in Karnataka to his parents. Generally, whenever you book some products like this on Amazon, Flipkart, something like that, they'll always ask you shipping address. There is something called billing address. There is something called shipping address. Now in this example, this particular person, let's say Mr. X in Delhi, who is doing a job in Delhi. Now assume for a second, X will give billing address as Delhi address and shipping address, he will give Karnataka address. This model is called as bill to ship to model because it is billed to Delhi but shipped to Karnataka. In this particular case, my dear friends, Mr. X has given instructions to Amazon to send the goods to where? Karnataka. In this particular transaction, place of supply will become Delhi even though goods are going to Karnataka, because as per section 10(1)(b), if the goods are supplied by supplier to a recipient on the instructions of a third person, place of supply will become principal place of business of such third person. So basically, place of supply will become Delhi. You need to understand that 10(1)(a) is different, 10(1)(b) is different, 10(1)(c) is different. 10(1)(a) will apply in case where there is movement of goods. Place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. 10(1)(b) talks about goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person, wherein place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. 10(1)(c) talks about place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. In that case, place of supply will be the location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. That's the story of 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b) and 10(1)(c). We are just left with 10(1)(d) and 10(1)(e). If we do that, section 10 will be over. Come on, let's discuss. Now that we are done with section 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b), 10(1)(c), now let's look at section 10(1)(d), my dear friends. Now what is that 10(1)(d) talking about? Let's take an example like this. We know that there is one company known as Reliance Industries, which is a registered person in Maharashtra. In fact, they have got branches in different states, and different states they have got registration. Now let's say Reliance Industries, registered person in Maharashtra, they wanted to set up one new store, let's say one new building, Reliance Trends. Where they want to open? They want to open in Meghalaya, and in that Reliance Trends store, they wanted to set up one escalator. Escalator we know, right? Exactly. Now for the purpose of setting up that escalator, Reliance company contacted Otis Elevators, which is a registered company in Delhi. Maharashtra based company contacted Delhi based company Otis Elevators to set up the escalators in Meghalaya in that particular store or Reliance mall. What is basically the nature of goods supplied here? The goods are basically installed, because that escalator or elevator, lift and all, they'll be installed. Correct, my dear friends? Now, for this particular kind of supply of goods, which is made by Otis Elevators, place of supply will not be Maharashtra. Place of supply will be Meghalaya. But why? Section 10(1)(d) specifies that place of supply in relation to goods assembled or installed at a site shall be the place of such installation or assembly. That means wherever goods are installed or wherever the goods are assembled, that becomes place of supply. Whenever there is the story of assembled or installed, you have to apply 10(1)(d) only. You can't apply 10(1)(a), 10(1)(b), 10(1)(c). So 10(1)(d) is a specific section which will come into the picture with respect to goods assembled or installed. For that, the answer for place of supply will be the place where goods are assembled or installed. In simple terms, we say place of such installation or assembly. That is the story of 10.1d. Very simple point. Now finally, one last point, another simple point which talks about section 10.1e. Now what is that 10.1e? Listen. So let's take an example. Shivateja is going from, let's say, Hyderabad to Chennai. I'm going from where? Hyderabad to Chennai. Hyderabad is in Telangana state, Chennai is in Tamil Nadu. Now for the purpose of traveling from Hyderabad to Chennai, I booked a ticket of Indigo Airlines and I'm going by way of flight journey from Hyderabad to Chennai. Now in the course of flight journey, I started feeling hungry and I wanted to procure some food items, and I called the air hostess and I have taken some food items, and what food item I have taken is not sandwich and all. I have taken one packed chips packet. Now packed chips packet is not a service, it is a good. Whenever we are talking about food items, if they are supplied in a restaurant or they are prepared in a chat center or anything like that, that is called service. Packed food is always regarded as a good. So what did I take? I have taken one chips packet when during the course of flight journey. I did not take the chips packet when the flight was in Hyderabad. I did not take when the flight was in Chennai. When the flight was in transit, during the course of journey from Hyderabad to Chennai in air, I have procured the chips packet. Now the question is all about how do we determine place of supply? And this we say that place of supply for goods supplied on board a conveyance. On board means during the course of journey. On board that conveyance, we have taken some goods. Do we say the answer as air? Do we say the answer as territorial waters? Do we say the answer as Hyderabad? Do we say the answer as Chennai? In this particular case, my dear friends, the answer will become Hyderabad, because place of supply in case of goods supplied on board a conveyance shall be the place where goods are taken on board. Now common sense point, when did the goods come into that flight? Common sense point, the goods have come into the flight in Hyderabad itself. Correct, right? That means in Telangana only the goods are taken on board. Correct, my dear friends? So for goods supplied on board a conveyance, place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. Clear, right? Now take another example. Let's say there is one flight journey from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. One flight is going from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. There is one person, Mr. P. He wants to go from Maharashtra to Delhi. He has taken the flight. He has entered the flight in Maharashtra and going to Delhi. But this flight is actually not starting from Maharashtra. This flight is coming from Karnataka. It's traveling from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi. Correct, right? And in the course of flight journey, he purchased one chips packet. And this chips packet was there in the flight. It was taken into the flight in Karnataka itself. But our person, Mr. P, is traveling from where? Mr. P is traveling from Maharashtra to Delhi. And for supply of the chips packet, place of supply will not be Maharashtra. Place of supply will be Karnataka. Because the place where goods are taken on board is Karnataka but not Maharashtra. Very, very interesting point. So it is not relevant where the person has entered the flight. It is not relevant where the person has entered the conveyance. What is relevant is only where the goods are taken on the conveyance. So friends, 10.1e talks about place of supply with respect to goods supplied on board a conveyance. And with respect to goods supplied on board a conveyance, place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. So in my example, when a flight is going from Karnataka to Maharashtra to Delhi, even though he has procured the goods during Maharashtra to Delhi journey, the goods were taken on the conveyance in Karnataka itself. So place of supply will become Karnataka only. Very, very interesting point. That is the story of section 10.1e. And that is the end of discussion for section 10. And as I told you, section 10 is divided into 10.1, 10.2. 10.2 says if place of supply cannot be determined under section 10.1, it is determined in such manner as may be prescribed. So they'll prescribe, don't worry. 10.1, we have got 5 clauses there, 10.1a, 10.1b, 10.1c, 10.1d and 10.1e. 10.1a talks about place of supply in case where there is movement of goods, where the place of supply will be the place where movement of goods terminates for delivery to the recipient. 10.1b will apply when goods are supplied by supplier to the recipient on the instructions of third person. Technically we call it as bill to ship to model. In that case, place of supply will be principal place of business of such third person. 10.1c talks about place of supply in case where there is no movement of goods. Place of supply will be location of goods at the time of delivery to the recipient. Then 10.1d talks about place of supply for goods assembled or installed. For that, place of supply will be place of such installation or assembly. Finally, last point, 10.1e, which deals with place of supply for goods supplied on board a conveyance, for which place of supply will be the place where goods are taken on board. It is not relevant where the person entered the conveyance. What is relevant is only where the goods are taken on board. That is the story of section 10 of IGST Act, which deals with place of supply in case of goods other than imported exported goods, because for import and export section 11 will apply but not section 10. My dear students, let's now complete section 11, a very small, simple, easy section which will not take much time at all. 11 will actually deals with place of supply with respect to goods imported or goods exported. Very simple point. With respect to goods imported, they have specified that place of supply will be location of importer. Let's say for example, Mr. A, registered person in Punjab, imported goods from US. Mr. A, registered person in Punjab, imported goods from US. Place of supply will become Punjab. That's it. Very simple point. So with respect to goods imported, place of supply will be location of importer. Other side, if the goods are exported from India, place of supply will be the location outside India. That means reverse example, if Mr. A of Punjab is exporting goods to Mr. Ping Pong of US, Mr. A of Punjab is exporting goods to Mr. Ping Pong of US. In that case, my dear friends, place of supply will be US. And I hope we guys remember this concept which I already told you that export is regarded as an interstate supply. For that matter, import is also regarded as interstate supply. Whether a transaction is import or export, it is still regarded as interstate supply. Clear friends? That's it. That's the story of section 11, a very simple concept. With respect to goods imported, place of supply will be location of importer. With respect to goods exported, place of supply will be location outside India. That's all. That is the story of section 11. Pretty simple and easy. Now the real game begins when we actually start discussion about section 12 and 13, because those deals with services, in which we have got 12, we have got 14 subsections, 13 we have got 13 subsections, which will take a lot of time for discussion because services are intangible in nature, and for different services we have got different concept of place of supply, which we'll talk in detail. So friends, finally section 10 and 11 deals with the concept of place of supply related to goods. 10 applies for place of supply for goods other than imported and exported goods. If it is imported exported goods, then section 11 will apply. For import, location of importer. For export, location outside India.